Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, CoD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today we are going to be talking about the top 25 kingdoms that have essentially just been, in short, fighting the most, right? These are the kingdoms that have been doing the most amount of PvP and have garnered up the most amount of merit points thus far as of August 2023, specifically from the data being captured on August 13th across about a 5 to 6 hour window. So we're going to be continuing on our top stat series covering this leaderboard today. Even though we got one of our prefacing points out of the way, number two, always bear in mind that the reason I mentioned the date and the window in which data was captured is because anytime after that, the data is obviously going to be different, right? So people could be stronger, they could have more points in certain areas, right? So for those that might say, well, the data's not accurate or it's outdated, I mean, you're technically not wrong, right? But just bear in mind that the data is captured at a specific point, and we're not talking about anything else beyond when the data was captured. Number three. The range for the kingdoms that we gathered this data in was from kingdoms 1 through 160. So that essentially includes all of the merged kingdoms right now, with the exception of where it stops. As of recording this video was at 131 through 144, right? But 131 is the oldest home or season 1 kingdom that is not gone into its merged group yet. So just for some context there. And then number 4, which is that if you want to find a link to our public top stats sheet, this is the master. I always show the master off first, and then within 24 hours, I will upload or essentially copy this over to the public sheet so those of you can view that. For anyone that's curious on that bad boy, let me just populate real quickers. Gotta see where I have this, which is gonna be right here. Lovely. Let's do. Oh, come on. You can do it for me, Betsy. Why do I have to go back in and it didn't work. What's going on? Hang on. Boom, boom. There we go. All right, cool. So for those of you that want, you can join the Discord. You just simply go here to the information. We do reaction rolls. You'll click on Call the Dragons. It'll pop this bad boy open. You just go to Leaderboards, and then you can check out a bunch of nice handy dandy stuff there. Okie dokie. Right back on track. Let's go ahead and do our big reveal, which is just essentially in one go, right? We don't need to do any kind of trickery. But here we go for our top 25 strongest kingdoms right now, strongest fighting kingdoms, right, that have just been doing the most amount of fighting and have the most amount of PvP merit point accumulation. So, starting top down, we have SSS 1-11. They're at 2.3 billion points here. And then we have a number 2, which is SSS 1-10 at 2.2 billion. And it should be noted that SSS 1-10 and 11 were the two strongest merged kingdoms going into their Season 1 Plus from that 27 through 90 cluster, and really kind of all time thus far. Then we get to number 3, which is SSS 1-6 at 1.66 billion. Then we get to number 4, SSS 1-14 at 1.38 billion. Number 5, SSS 1-12 at 1.38 billion. Number 6, SSS 1-16 at 1.36 billion. Number 7, SSS 1-7 at 1.32 billion. Number 8, SSS 1-13 at 1.31 billion. Number 9, SSS 1-8. I think I meant to say 13. Now we're going to go to 8 at 1.31. Maybe I actually did say 8. Man, I'm going to have to not replay this because that might be embarrassing. Let's go to number 10, which is SSS 1-22 at 1.2 billion. Number 11, SSS 1-18 at 1.20 billion. Number 12, SSS 1-15 at 1.15 billion. Number 13 was SSS 1-17 at 1.14 billion. Number 14, SSS 1-19 at 1.13 billion. I feel like I'm going to get tongue-tied soon. Number 15, SSS 1-24 at 1.09 billion. Number 16, SSS 1-23 at 1.08 billion. Number 17, I feel like I probably did that already, right? SSS 1-28, 1.01 billion. If not, it's okay. Number 18, SSS 1-21 at 1.00 billion. Number 19, SSS 1-20 at 982 mil. Number 20, SSS 1-26 at 815 mil. Number 22, SSS 1-27 at 632 mil. Number 23, SSS 1-25 at 561 mil. Number 24, SSS 1-29 at 542 mil, and then number 25 for Bubble, SSS 1-30 at 482 mil. Now, I should point out some of the kingdoms between 131 and 136 did come close-ish, but just were not there to break the number 25 number. However, now we take a look at kind of how the numbers look at the top. And you can see you got 18 kingdoms or 18 groups here over 1 billion merit points. That's pretty good. But they kind of go from 1 to 1.66, and then you see the big jumps here for SSS 1-11 and 10. Really just indicates there's a lot of fighting that's happening, but I would argue within the top 18, 19 of these KVK groups, there is still a quality level of PvP and fighting that's happening. Even here, kind of amongst the bottom 5, bottom 6, or bottom 7, I guess you could say, are still fighting, right, at a good, decent pace. But you at least can kind of see, and if anything, this might just indicate, right, sort of more of a nice to know. But I often find, in addition to this, it's probably more appropriate than saying the but. No pun intended. Though, when I look at the data, I would say to myself, well, okay, if I wanted to just go and try and have a high chance of seeing a lot of PvP playing out, I might look at these kingdoms top down and say, well, okay, if I want to go make just an extra character in them so I can maybe get a glimpse of some PvP that's happening, especially if you're the educational type or you just want to go and watch for pure enjoyment or educate yourself or try to learn or take anything away, right? You could say going kind of top down in this way is a good starting point. Beyond that, let me see where we have for bubbles. Right now, bear in mind, last time we did the data was about 2 months ago, and there was only 2 merge kingdoms that we looked at. So obviously this has been increased from not only the bubble bottom end at 482 to 319. So you're looking at about 163 mil increase, and then on the top end you're seeing about a 840 million increase on the ceiling. So again, obviously more PvP is happening. Nice to see that it is. I personally, what I would actually really love to see, and this is something I often mention in these videos, is I really want to see an individual kingdom leaderboard. You know, I want to be able to go into a kingdom and see which kingdoms are doing the most amount of PvP for their kingdom in that KVK. The challenge with trying to figure out that data now is there's no easy way to do it, because once you get into the Merge Kingdom or an S1 Plus seasons and beyond, there's no label or indicator that tells you which home kingdom these alliances are from that you can publicly see. If you are the player playing on your account, you can see it by just going to your profile. But if I want to go and take a look at, for example, an alliance like TA, right, from SSS 1-8, I can't see what home kingdom they're from. Now I know they're from home kingdom 2, but there's nothing that I can view publicly in the game as just an observer / spectator, where I go and I click on their alliance and it says this is where this alliance is from, right? Especially if they kept their tag and they didn't change it, along with if there's no way for me to click on a player's name, if I'm looking at the individual ranking boards, and click on their name and then somewhere on their profile that I can see from as another person, another player, view and say, oh, there's the area that it shows, here's the home kingdom or the kingdom in which they started their account in. Like, that would be cool to see. Things that I wish and hope that they do eventually add into the game. But anyways, that's going to do it for me. Would love to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. As always, until next time, I will catch you later.